What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993, back here for another pre-recorded wrestling review, as we are now going to talk about AEW Dynamite from the December 21st, 2022 edition, the Holiday Bash, and it took place in San Antonio, Texas, as AEW has been touring Texas for the past couple of weeks. I thought this week's show was pretty good. I'd say it was good. Almost gave it great. Couple little things though that brought it down a little bit for me. But some of the stuff that was really good was really good. Such as, of course, the opening promo with Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho. Set up for a match on the first Dynamite of the New Year, January 4th, which apparently Dynamite's going to kind of get like a little bit like a new look to it from the rumors that I have heard. We also had set up for another match happening, I think, next week with Bryan Danielson and Ethan Page. We also got to see the fifth match, I believe, with the Elite and Death Triangle. And we are continuing to see the downfall also of FTR as they lost to the Guns. Swerve Strickland has a new stable, and Cinder Blocks came into effect, and then Rick Ross, or whatever his name was, said, called Keith Lee basically a big man and whatnot on live TV, when I was definitely a little bit odd and whatnot, but that main event, the main event match, oh man, credit where credit is due. I think Jamie Hayter is a sleeper hit as AEW Women's Champion. Again, with her playing second fiddle to Britt Baker, you still feel you gotta hold Britt a little bit higher, but don't sleep on her. Again, they are building, they're building up, obviously, at some point soon, Britt is going to turn on Jamie, and they're really preparing for you to want to cheer for her. Again, the match she had with Toni Storm at Full Gear was awesome. This match, too, she had tonight, that main event at Dynamite also proves she belongs in the spot she's in. Of course, needs to be a reasonable PNG image for her, but, that's for another day. But, so yeah, the stuff that was good was really good. Then you got the other stuff that was like, mid. So, we had some good, some meh, but it was another worthwhile episode of Dynamite. Again, Dynamite is gaining a lot of momentum back. It feels like the rust, the controversial stuff is starting to wear off. Thank goodness. Of course, we still don't know what the heck's going on with CM Punk, but if we just drift away from that for now, that's fine. Because I'm still enjoying Dynamite. There are still things to be excited about for Dynamite, of course. But let's just roll in and briefly talk about this show. We opened up with a fantastic promo by Ricky Starks. And I keep saying this. From the moment he cut that babyface promo, after he dropped the FTR title to Hook, I've really been feeling Ricky Starks as a babyface. And the past couple weeks, since he feuded with MJF, oh boy, is he going to whole other levels. And it's freaking awesome. This promo was like, yes, I lost, but I should have known better what Max was up to. So, of course, you guys believed in me. I'm going to work my way up. And, of course, cut a very good, passionate promo. And then Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Daniel Garcia come out. And Chris like, yeah, I see you as a good talent. Why don't you come join us? I think you need a little bit of advice. You need a little bit of mentorship. You need a little Chris Jericho, that is. I immediately thought of an episode of Seinfeld, which, by the way, for you Seinfeld fans, happy Festivus, by the way. Got a lot of problems with all you people here, and you're all going to hear about it. When do we start the airing of grievances? Anyways, man, that'd be a really funny segment. Chris Jericho trying to reenact Festivus. That would be quite interesting. Anyways, though, but Jericho is basically saying that Ricky Starks could be a great fit in the Jericho Appreciation Society. And then Starks was like, nah. And then he basically pulls a couple zingers on Chris Jericho, which Jericho's facial expressions were indeed priceless. I think he also said that the J in Jericho Appreciation Society should stand for jobbers. Of course, saying the fact that, well, first off, I still to this day I'm always going to look at Angelo Parker and Matt Menard. That's on my eye. 2.0, whatever you want to call them. I'm still going to view them as jobbers always. I can't take them seriously. I'm sorry, I cannot. But of course, also refer to the fact that Chris Jericho lost to a jobber last week who was Action Andretti. Of course, Ricky Starks insulted him. And then, of course, Jake Hager in that stupid-ass purple hat appeared. And Jericho's like, get him, boys. And they beat down him until Action Andretti came out and took out Jericho and scared off the JAS. But in the midst of this promo, Ricky Starks did challenge Chris Jericho to a match on the January 4th edition of Dynamite, which will be good. A feud with Jericho is another way to kind of keep, Ricky Starks' momentum going. Keep him, getting that main event earning momentum going right now, which definitely, he's going to be a big star. And people keep continuing to compare him to The Rock, which a lot of his promos are, shooting on that idea, of course. But, again, promos like this, give him the microphone every week, and I'm going to be entertained. So this is an excellent opening promo. The Elite and Death Triangle had their no disqualification match, the 5th match in this best of 7. Going into this match, Death Triangle were up 3-1. Another, of course, great match as always between these two, although, again, it's getting a little bit repetitive, but, it's still good stuff. The Elite, though, do win. I believe they hit like a freaking pile driver combo or something on that on one of the members of Death Triangle, and they get the victory. They're taking a break next week. I think their next match is the 1st January of the new year. When was the last match? I can't remember what the stipulations were, but I know, of course, the last one's supposed to be taking place on the January 11th episode, which is the Los Angeles episode, which I will be closer to LA because I'll be in Vegas that week. But so still good stuff, of course, as always, between them. It looks like we're probably gonna get the series even at 3-all. I don't know who's gonna win it. I mean, I think they're gonna put the belts back on the Elite, and of course they will go on to feud with House of Black, as they should. But I'm not 100% sold and believe that could happen. I like, though, that they've made me think that there's a chance that Death Triangle could win. But, of course, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, of course. MJF calls out Bryan Danielson because Bryan did chase MJF off after the main event last week to get revenge on what he did to William Regal. Bryan then has a promo where he cuts a very heartfelt, passionate promo about his relationship with William Regal and how he won him in AEW, and how, of course, obviously he wants to get his revenge on MJF for this and that. And then that brings out Stokely Hathaway and All Ego Ethan Page. And basically they're just like, yo, I was runner-up in the number 1 contenders tournament, not you. So you can't cut in front of me. I'm getting the next title shot, and I will become world champion. They do fire a few shots at Bryan. I think they called him vegetable hater or vegetable eating man or something. They basically did that, and then Bryan, they have a good promo. He challenges Ethan Page to a match. He says, not tonight, we're doing it next week. Again, I know I've been saying lately that I'm not the biggest fan of the firm. I do kind of like the momentum Ethan Page is getting, though. It does feel like that he's someone that I should be taking a little more seriously. And I'm getting that vibes. Yes, he's probably going to lose to Bryan Danielson, yes, but I feel like he's gained some momentum that he didn't have before. So, I am actually pretty excited, looking forward to seeing what they do next week on Dynamite in their match. Also, there was a segment where I think Jungle Boy got beat down and dumped into a dumpster or whatnot. I think this is also after Hook defeated Exodus Prime by submission in a squash match and whatnot. Kind of keeping that storyline going along there. Jon Moxley, of course, has a promo where he criticizes Hangman Adam Page hyped up again for another future match between the two of them, but he said he was going to teach Darius Martin a lesson on the show. And him and Darius Martin have a pretty good match. Again, if you feel bad because Darius Martin has been a lot more injury prone than Dante Martin. But man, when he's healthy, oh boy. Both him and Dante have so much great singles potential. Especially, of course, Dante, which I'm a little more behind since I've seen more of his work than Darius's. But both these guys can be awesome. And Mox made him look like $1 million. Mox, of course, would get the win as he's been, again, he's not heel, but he's teasing that, like, de facto heel side he's somewhat flowing with right now as he's getting built into a match with Hangman Adam Page eventually, which will be good. Again, their title match where Hangman got hurt was pretty darn good. So I'm pretty sure, barring any injuries, of course, or whatnot, I think that will be an awesome match when it does happen. We had the Gun Club, Austin and Colton. They defeated FTR. We are continuing to get somewhat of like a downfall of FTR ever since they lost to the Acclaimed for the AEW World Tag Titles. Because I think now, like as of today, are they just AAA World Tag Champions? Because they didn't win the AEW Tag Titles. They dropped the Ring of Honor World Tag Titles to the Briscoes at Final Battle. I don't see anything else about them being IWGP Tag Champions still. But of course also, again, there's, I completely blanked out on my train of thought. But I guess, because I've heard rumors that FTR wants to take a break in 2023. And kind of more so just do some indie shows and just take it easy. Which, fine, because they've had a busy year. Like Kenny Omega last year was the one going from show to show. This year, it's FTR. Like, literally living that idea that they are the best tag team in the industry. Yes, it would have been nice to see them win the AEW World Tag Titles, but it definitely kind of like interfered. The Acclaim just got super popular when nobody was really expecting them to get as popular as they did. So, kind of a reason why to say, let it slide or whatnot. But we'll see where this leads with the downfall of the FTR. We had Keith Lee have some interview with Rick Ross just to be set up, showing Swerve coming out, and then Swerve, begging Keith Lee to fight. Rick Ross said a couple of very weird things, but it led to a beatdown and a new stable formed. I forgot what they're calling it, but Keith Lee got beat down by Parker Bordeaux, who I thought he was in a stable with Ari Daivari, unless they pulled the plug on that. I don't know, because I don't watch Rampage and whatnot. But which is interesting because, again, Parker Bordeaux was originally Harlan in NXT. And apparently, Paul Heyman said he's basically the next Brock Lesnar. But of course, they released him. So I'm glad to get the shot. Then there's this other random guy who I thought it was two people. The way the hair was structured, I thought it was Lance Archer. But then for some reason, I also thought maybe it was Connor from the Ascension. But I still don't know who the heck that guy was. So, random new stable. Rick Ross is kind of in charge of it. We'll see where it goes. Of course, it does end though with a beatdown on Keith Lee, including Swerve hitting a stomp of cinder blocks into the chest of Keith Lee, which was pretty badass, I'll be honest. But we will see where that stable goes. And then I talked about the intro a little bit, the main event, the AEW Women's World Title match with Jamie Hayter and Hikaru Shida. Excellent, hard-hitting match. And like I say, this women's division, yes, has been the weakest part of AEW for sure. But again, Jamie Hayter, as I said, don't sleep on her. She still gives off those vibes that she's second fiddle to Britt Baker. But I feel again, in the long run, it's helping her get over. Because people are realizing how good she is. And people are, of course, it's good. It's good, momentum to set up for that eventual face turn. But then an awesome match. Afterwards, though, Britt gets in and starts beating down, joining in to help beat down on Hikaru Shida. Toni Storm and Saraya both come out to scare off Team D&D and whatnot. Obviously, maybe we might be getting a rematch with Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter. But obviously, it's still teasing to that tag match we're going to get on the January 11th episode of Dynamite between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Saraya and a partner of her choosing. Who may that be? You'll find out in another upcoming video I am going to do. But that's Dynamite. I gave the show a B. Again, the stuff with Rick Ross was interesting, but more so I gotta see where this goes type thing. I know he said a couple, iffy, controversial things. So we'll see, of course, how they go about him from that and whatnot. But again, I really enjoyed the stuff like the Ricky Starks promo is definitely one of my favorite parts. The no DQ match was fine. Again, I've just seen the Elite and Death Triangle wrestle so many times. I am interested to see, of course, Bryan Danielson, Ethan Page, and of course, again, that main event was freaking awesome. Everything else was just fine. It was just there, but that's my review of Dynamite. Again, I gave Dynamite a B. What are your thoughts on AEW Dynamite for this week, guys? Make sure you guys leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well, at the Club of the Man 93. And don't forget to shout for Meatball Sub. And follow me on TikTok, at the Club of the Man 1993. So until then, guys, I'll check it out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.